So let's say we have vector A and vector B, right? So if I want to do A plus B, that's pretty straightforward, right? I'm just going to grab this vector and I'm just going to move it. So I'm going to walk in direction A and then I'm going to walk in direction B, okay? So I'm going to go, like imagine I'm going here and then I'm going to go here, okay? And so the equivalent of doing those two things is starting here and ending here, right? So this is vector A plus B. That's normally the pretty straightforward part, okay? So hold on, I'm gonna copy these guys. So now, let's say we have vector A and we have vector B, but this time, instead of doing A plus B, I want to do vector A minus vector B. So some people will do sort of complicated things, leaving them this way, but I think what is the easier way of doing it is to think about making a new vector. Let's make a new vector negative b. And when you make negative b, it's the same as b, just going in the opposite direction, right? So this is vector negative b. And so what we can do is we can walk in the direction of vector A, and then we can walk in the direction of negative b. And so this vector from here to here, I mean to make it a dotted line, but apparently it is a dotted line. It's a little weird. Is vector A minus B. Okay. So what's weird is that sometimes people will do kind of strange things, and they'll say, actually, let me copy this. So you're learning the probably more than you wanted to know about how to use this program that I'm using. Um, if you do a kind of weird thing and you kind of make them face head to head together, then you can say this vector. So you can imagine this vector is also A minus B, like those two vectors are the same as each other. And so what this is saying is I'm walking in the direction of A, and then I'm walking backwards in the direction of B, and that gets me vector A minus B. But I actually think this is a lot more confusing. I think the much better way of doing it is to make yourself a vector negative B and think about walking in vector A and then walking in vector negative B. And I think that is much easier to understand than trying to imagine, like, how do I arrange this arrow so I can, like, walk backwards against it? Sometimes people will also, like, they'll arrange it like this way, and then they both start like foot to foot, and then this vector is A minus B. Like, people will do all sorts of strange things, and I actually think that that's very confusing. The much less confusing way of doing it is to do this and sort of construct your negative b vector. And with all of your adding your vectors, think about walk in one direction and then walk in the next direction. And I think that makes a lot more sense. Hopefully this was helpful.